Good day, everyone. Welcome to the world of the International Fab Talks. We are so happy to connect with several individuals across the world from different countries, irrespective of gender, age, etc. When we connect with beautiful minds, it's really a moment of joy when I connect with people who would love to share their time with us, would want to inspire others with their journey. They become inspirations to us. And when we feel that, yes, this person could inspire even you, we invite them to the International Fab Talks to share their journey and inspire you in the right way. Today, we have a wonderful celebrity and guest joining us all the way from Malaysia. She's a Canadian, but she stays in Malaysia. She's a wonderful human being because she's connected to humanity. She would love to see all the women in the world in a happy space. Now, how she's doing that, that's a secret. We'll get to know more about her in this beautiful session called as the International Fab Talks, where we focus on mental health. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Hello. It's so nice to be here, and hello to all your viewers. I'm so happy to meet you and be here on International Fab Talks. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being humble and down to earth. You're very accommodating. My dear friends, earlier we did have a technical issue, and ma'am was so polite enough to accept the changes in the timing. You could understand that she's very accommodative, she's very understanding and polite, and this is what will take her forward and enable us to learn this from her. We should all learn that from her. I go ahead and share your profile, ma'am, and we begin the session.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. So, dear friends, you'd like to know actually who is our guest for today. As I earlier mentioned, she is none other than Leah Jacobs. Now, if you want me to add more to her profile, here is it. She is the founder of Planet Shift. That's really wonderful, empowering women across the globe through the art of journaling. That's really nice. I really like this. Connected with journaling. When you have really thoughts that are not okay in your mind, I think journaling helps you. Now, how is that? I don't know. Let's get to know more about it. Maybe I guessed something. Maybe ma'am has it in another way that she's going to share it with us. And I really like the way that she heads this organization called as Planet Shift. It's something magical. Let's get to know how she's able to empower women, not only around her, but across the world, how she's able to connect with them, and what is the message she has for all of us. Over to you, dear. How would you like to define yourself for all of us today?
Well, I've been journaling for most of my life, and it really helped me to make a very big transition from who I was to who I am now. And also part of my background, as you can see by my background, is that I'm an artist. So I've been able to use both the power of journaling and art in order to really change who I am. And that's what I teach women, because where I was many years ago at this point, actually around 30 years ago, 25 years ago, I was that girl who was quite an introvert, quite shy, didn't feel really seen. I was living sort of a life of insignificance, always people pleasing, because I always felt that no matter what I did, it was never good enough. And I was really able to make a shift from that. And I attribute that to all the time that I spent in my journal. So that's what I help women who are suffering with some of those same pains. And I help them really learn rediscover who they are and find the self-worth that is actually already within them.
Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you very much. Friends, I'd like to add more to ma'am's profile. She is a person who empowers other women to rediscover their authentic selves and step into their full potential through the power of personal growth, journaling, and art. She also helps them to discover their voice. And every woman across the world, or all the women across the world, have a wonderful message which they have to share with the world. They would like to share their thoughts and views in the right way, and here is our guest who would help them to do that. She would show them the right way and the right path to enable them to reach out to the world, to voice out their opinions. That's really nice. And the purpose of her life has been very significant till date, because she's been a part of the journey of several women with regard to their transformation. That's really nice. And she teaches them how to overcome people pleasing. Now, this is a big pandemic, people pleasing. Everywhere in the world, people try to please one another. Maybe some of them overdo it. When you overdo it, there is the problem. People pleasing is okay, but not to overdo it. When you overdo it, that's the mistake. And our guest helps people to understand where to draw the line, how to know that you're crossing certain boundaries. So that's really nice. She helps them to set their boundaries in the right way and to get more from their lives with regard to journaling, or maybe practice journaling in the right way to enable them to grow and to mature the right way. She has a beautiful vision for them to understand that they could also have a vision for themselves in their lives. She has a vision for all of them who are connected with her to see them in a better space. She would enable them to visualize and have a vision for them in their own lives as well. She would put you on that path where you would be enlightened and you would, come out of the tunnel into the light. That's the beauty of our celebrity and guest. She is a person concentrating on all positive aspects around her. She is, she's connected with this women's worthy circle. So she runs this women's worthy circle, and it is to empower women in the right way. She's also connected with a women's mastermind. Let me put that right. Women's worthy circle, and as well as women's mastermind and planet shift, etc. Currently, she is working on a 10-day journey, the art of self-discovery. That's really nice. The moment you discover yourself, there is no turning back. You will be always going forward. So the art of self-discovery and all of this, we'll get to know more about it now in this beautiful session with our celebrity and guest, none other than Leah Jacobs. Thank you so much, dear, for being here with us. Now, the inspiring part is like, what is journaling in simple terms, if you could share that, and how one could benefit from journaling?
Okay, well, there is different forms of journaling, one of which is to just do a stream of consciousness and just write whatever comes to mind. And I do that sometimes. There's also the diary type where, I did this yesterday and that yesterday. And, I also have a little bit of that in there, but I try to do something more with my journaling practice. I journal every single day, every morning. And actually, I have more than one journal and more than one type of journal. So I first start with my gratitude journal. Very important to have gratitude. And gratitude helps me start my day in the right, I feel the right mindset, so I write down 10 things that I feel grateful for. Those don't have to be big things. They can be small things. And often in there as well, I will include things that I feel grateful about myself. So it's not only about having the material things that we have, but it's also can be, I'm so grateful for my courage. I'm so grateful for my curiosity. It can also be things about myself that I'm grateful for. And I think that identifying those things can really help identify what our strengths are. And this will also help with increasing our self-worth. So that is what I start with, which is the gratitude journal. After I finish those 10 things, which really, once you get into practice of doing, doesn't take very long, then I get into my regular journaling. And I like to do a few different types of entries during the week. So one of the entries, I always try to do a vision entry. I call it a vision entry. So it's something about what I'm envisioning for my life. And I do that as if it's happening now. That's a really important part, is to journal as if it was happening now, because this helps us to manifest it. Because if we write it in a way that it's going to happen in the future, it's like the universe keeps pushing it away. If we're able to write it in present tense, but it is our vision, that is when we start to manifest those things. So I do that kind of journaling once a week at least. I also like to do a whole page of affirmations. I will do that on another day and just write a whole page of affirmations. And then another special type of entry that I do is a letter to the universe or God or whatever, you would like to call it, your higher power. And so that is kind of like prayer, but it's not always asking for things. Sometimes it's got gratitude mixed in it as well, So I write to my higher power as if I was talking to my best friend. And so those three, I always try to do every week, one entry like that, so that I'm not just writing about what I did the day before. And then I also I create a lot of journal prompts, which you can find on my Facebook groups and my Facebook. So that's like something I love to do, is create journal prompts. But then, of course, I use those journal prompts for myself within my journaling. And so I ask myself a question and then answer that question in order to discover more about myself or identify things about myself. So that's it. And then overall, I just think of my journal is kind of like my best friend. It's a conversation with myself, right? So I also do some bullet journaling, and that's in a separate journal, but that's kind of a little bit of a different topic. So that's in a nutshell what I do in my journal. And the benefits of that, of course, is self-discovery. But I also find that it sets up my mindset for the day, and it often gets me much more focused and much more organized for my day, because usually some of that will come up in it somewhere. And it's also a form of well, it's like an alternative to meditation. It's a different kind of meditation, right? So it's not the regular sitting there like this, but it's a way of being, it's mindfulness. It's so all of these things can really benefit and help you to get clarity and have direction, things like that.
Yes, dear. That's really nice. Thank you for explaining about journaling and the impact of journaling in one's life. And you've started off with the gratitude journal, which you do every morning, right? That you focus
Yes.
on that. Now, from today, I'm going to do that because you've given a hint now. Start it early in the morning. Don't wait for late in the night. Like usually I do it late in the night. So I think starting early in the morning, thanking the Almighty or thanking the universe for all the good things you have, and begin your journey with positivity, or begin the day with positivity. That's really nice. You mentioned that, and the various forms of journaling, as you mentioned. Thank you very much. Now, dear, you are also focused on people breaking this thing called as, people pleasing. I would
Yes.
like you to speak on that, because even I was a people pleaser, and of very late, I've learned it the hard way not to people please. And I'm teaching that to my sons. Now, I want you to teach all our sisters out there, all the people out there, to avoid people pleasing, especially the wrong ones. Over to you, dear.
Yes, the problem with people pleasing, and I myself did it for years. I did it for so long, I didn't even realize that I was doing it. Because it's something that I think that we take on when we're quite young, because we want that love and attention from our parents, from our teachers, from society. So that's what starts it. Unfortunately, when we get older and we still are continuing to do that, what happens is we actually lose our true self, because we're actually putting on a mask and hiding our true selves, because somehow we don't think that who we really are is good enough. So we're trying to make everyone see something that is not actually our true self, and we're protecting our true self by putting up this mask or this wall because all of us want, want love and affection from people. And so we're trying to do anything to get that, whether it's recognition from your boss or good job from your teacher, or you even with your friends and things like that, you want them to accept you. And so the problem is that when we do that, so we lose our true self, or it gets so buried deep out down inside that actually we don't feel love fully, because we're not being loved. Our true self is not actually being loved because you've been hiding it, right? Instead, only the surface that we're putting on is the one that's getting the love and the approval and attention, and that is not enough. So what we really need to do is stop doing that, be our authentic selves, take that risk. I know that it takes courage, and then we will truly feel the love and appreciation, because it will be our authentic self that is actually receiving the love. And that's why it's so important. And I think that when we bury our true self, this leads to a lack of self-worth. And self-worth is something that affects everything what we do. If we don't think that we are worthy, then it just stunts everything that we try to do. It stunts us in our business. It stunts us in our relationships. We can't go any further than how much we believe in ourselves and how much we love ourselves. So if we're not even in touch with ourselves, or if we do know who we are but we're hiding, then it's impossible to have a lot of self-worth, and that's going to cause a problem in all areas of our life.
Yes, dear ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. Thank you for giving us a clarity on that with regard to people pleasing. Now, dear, you are also into art. Now, the
Yeah.
beautiful background behind you, have you designed that?
Yes, that's one of my pieces of art. And I do a lot of art journaling, or art that has to do with personal growth or something of that nature. And so, yes, this is one of the ones that I did. And it's quite colorful and all about change and transformation and stepping into your beauty, and a butterfly is signifying that metamorphosis. So yeah, I enjoy doing art, and I enjoy using that creativity when I'm working with women, because it allows, first of all, it can be fun, and we do it in a non-threatening way. So you don't have to be an artist. You can just have fun with it, like when you were a kid. And you can get out the crayons. It really doesn't matter. It's more about the process of the art making and not really about the outcome. Because I believe that when we're doing art, again, it's another form of mindfulness where we're really in flow. And so when we're in flow like that, we are on a level that is connected. So it's really been a big part of my life. And this is one of the things that I like to share with the women that I work with. It's a little bit different way of working with people.
Yes, dear, that's really nice. And it's very unique. For the first time, I'm hearing that art, art journaling, as you mentioned, that it could have a positive impact on people. And you say, enjoy the process. The outcome is not important. The process is important. That's really nice. You focused on that. Now, dear, what has been the response around you? Like, have the women come out forward and connected with you? Are they willing to open up and say, yes, I'm a people pleaser, or maybe I'm a person like having, these are the certain things that I'm facing and I'd like to overcome them? Have they been able to open up quickly with you, or they are held back due to family situations or fear, or it could be like society?
So it's very important for me when I'm working with the ladies that it's my job to create a space where they feel comfortable. And for example, if it's in a group session and if I can tell that they don't feel comfortable, then I would probably contact them outside of the group and try to see what was going on. But I've actually never run into that problem, but that's how I would handle that problem if I saw that there was some sort of issue. But as you can probably tell, I'm really quite down to earth, and I bring and attract people that are similar, and so we just form a protective bubble, and we're able to share and appreciate everybody's sharing, and then also, if we have to, keep secrets. I mean, but when you're learning to be your authentic self, um, well, then you want to show up authentically, right? So that's kind of the important part of the process, and I really create a space where there's no judgment. That's definitely not allowed. And we're all accepting of each other and our differences, and actually, aren't we mostly all the same, actually? Right?
You're very
Yeah.
right. We're actually all the same, with the same emotions, with the same feelings. Yes, dear, I get.
Yes.
And you say you attract the same kind of people who are down to earth, who are humble.
Yes, and even if maybe they're not in their day-to-day life, but when they get in the room, whether it's usually Zoom, but anyway, when we're all in each other's presence, then, well, it's magic, really. And yes, people, I never hold back my own sharing, my own stories. I I'm prepared to be authentic. I'm prepared to be vulnerable. I'm beyond the people pleasing myself. And so I don't worry about what anybody else thinks. The way I look at it is that I'm here uh, breathing to do a job. My life is I want to be of service to my higher power and really make a change. And so I don't need to worry about what other people think. I just need to do my God-given job, which is to show up as I am and speak my truth and speak from the heart. And when I do that, it allows the other people, the other women, to do the same. They feel quite comfortable to do that.
Yes, dear. I admire you for that, ma'am. You really went down to earth and polite when you share all of that. I've already seen that positive side with you when I connected with you in the afternoon today, and things were not working between us with regard to the technical issues we were facing at our end. You were so polite and down to earth. You didn't show any type of irritation, or you didn't show any type of negativity. So I was like, what a wonderful person this is. That's very true. And the other best thing that you've shared, ma'am, that is, you don't need to please anyone. You're not waiting for validation. You know who you are. You only need to answer to the power above you, the higher power. You mentioned that. That's really nice. And when you open up about yourself, when you're very authentic with the group, others also begin to share. They get that positivity from you. If she could do it, we too could also share. Maybe my story could really change somebody's life, or it could teach somebody something. That's really nice. I really like the way you put that, ma'am. Now, dear, you are also connected with Women's Worthy Circle. Now, what is this? If you could share that with us.
Sure. It's another form of mastermind. It's totally focused on being on learning to become no, that's not true. It's actually, we all are worthy already. the thing is that we forget that. So what happens is that, you know, when we are born, we're worthy. When, if you think about ourselves as a baby, our parents love us. We can do all kinds of crazy things like crying and screaming and, you know, being sick and everything, but our parents still love us. We are still worthy of love when we're a baby. But somewhere along the line, when we're children, then we start to feel like maybe what I'm doing is not good enough. Maybe, hold on just a sec.
Yes. Yes, dear. Over to you, ma'am.
So the worthy circle is women that come together to really focus on their self-worth. And the thing is that when we're born and we're a baby, we already have that worthiness inside of us. But what happens is along the way, we start to have those negative thoughts, negative beliefs that come in and start to say the things like, you're not good enough, who do you think you are? And all these types of negative thoughts, and those negative thoughts turn into negative beliefs about ourselves, and we start to think that we are less than what we really are. And so our worthiness, just like our authenticity, gets stuffed down more and more and more. So in the worthy circles, we all lift each other up. We all help to unbury that worthiness that we are, that is already within us, and bring it into the light and shine a light on how wonderful and how unique and how beautiful we are. And we work towards changing our minds, or becoming the observer of our minds, so that this mind doesn't have the power over us, and so that we can step into really our potential and our power.
Yes, dear. That's really nice. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, it's connected with women's, if I could put that right, let me just get that right. Women's Mastermind. Like, is it the
Right.
same
So
or is it a bit different?
okay, so it's really quite similar. The women's worthy circles started first, and it is really just for women, for women who just want to work solely on their sense of self-worth. And the women's mastermind is separate, and that is because we touch on a number of different topics, and it goes for 8 weeks long, and it's not only focused on worthiness. The women's worthy circle, I don't use so much, I don't use the journaling. I mean, I often give them some ideas that it might be good to journal about, but it's not a big part of our circle. The circle really is meaning sharing, right? Now I'm doing this on Zoom, so there's no actual circle, but we consider it to be a circle because of the space of sharing together. And then a mastermind is more, it is definitely still sharing together, but because it's a strict 8 weeks, and we're talking about different topics, and then we're exploring those topics through the journaling and through the art activities, it does end up being different than the worthy circle. So I have women who are in both, like they're in this one for strictly working on worthiness, but they're also in the mastermind because they want to do more things and do the fun art side of it and get more into their journaling and stuff like that. So it does end up being quite different experience.
Yes, dear. Thank you for sharing the clarity, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing the difference and the clarity that you've given us. Now, dear, what age groups come forward to join in and want, to be the best version of themselves? Are the young teenage girls, or maybe the 20s, 30s, or the middle-aged people, or maybe senior ones?
Yeah, now I tend to work with people who are about 45 to 65.
Mhm.
I wouldn't turn anybody away. However, those seem to be the ladies who are interested, who have the time. It's usually people who are not bogged down with the children and with, like they might still be working and things like that, but they have a little less responsibility. And also they might be going through some transitions, uh, because that certainly happened in my life, actually quite a few times, where uh, it's almost like a rebirth, right? Whether it was, for me, I lost my first husband, and that was a huge transition in my life because suddenly everything changed. It was upside down. But another person, it might be a breakup, or it might be a divorce, or it might be a big job change. It might be relocation. So there's usually, or maybe empty nesting where the kids have now gone off to university. So it's usually something like that where things have changed and they're starting to think that I want to make some changes for me as well. Yeah.
I really love that, you put that very nice. Like, I want a certain change in my own life. I've done my very best for everyone. And, it's time to
Exactly.
think about me. I too
Yeah.
exist on this planet. That's really
Yes.
nice. So I guess that's how it is, the planet shift or something. Is it something kind of?
Exactly. Because you see, what you just said is actually very, very beautiful and very powerful. Because the thing is, especially going back to the people pleasing, we go around trying to please everyone, then we forgot about our own needs. And the only way that we can actually be the best version of ourselves is to start with ourselves first. And some people will say that's very selfish, but it's not. It's exactly the exact opposite. It's not selfish at all. We have to be worried about what we need first and love ourselves first before we are able to really help the people around us, our families, our co-workers, anyone, really. We have to fill our own cup first. So unfortunately, not a lot of people realize that that's what we need to do. And we think, oh, they'll think I'm selfish, oh, right? But it's not about ego. It's just about when when I love myself and I have so much love within me, I'm able to love others. There's no ego in that, you
Yes.
know? Yeah.
Yes, that's really nice. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. Thank you very much. Now, dear, I would like to ask you, like, now you do it mostly online through Zoom, right? Have you even
Correct.
been able to meet offline and conduct certain sessions, or it's entirely online?
It's entirely online. I do have in my visions to do retreats so that I would be able to actually meet people in person and that they would be able to also meet the other ladies in the group. So that is coming at some point. And I would like to do those retreats first starting here in Malaysia because I do live in a beautiful country and I live close by the beach. But also I have my sights on Bali and the Mediterranean, wouldn't we all love those places as well? So that's in the future, not quite yet.
Yes, dear, that's really nice. You shared your bucket list. That's really nice. It's in the future and definitely it will materialize. We'd love to like meet offline and get connected That's really nice. Nevertheless, we should thank technology because we already connected online, and that's really a boon for all of us, especially the ones who are in their 40s and 50s and 60s. For us, it's something new and unique. We didn't have it during our earlier times, like when we were young,
Correct.
in our early teens and 20s. We didn't have this. Now, Diam, you're currently working on a project. This is a 10-day journey, the art of self-discovery. Now, if you could share something about it such that it could empower and enlighten others to join in.
Yeah, it's a 10-day challenge. And it's in a course form, and it's so you receive a video every day about a topic, and then it comes with an art journal prompt and also a journal prompt, so you can dive further into that topic. And it also comes with as well as the video, it comes with a PDF for a little bit more information, more tips on how to go about it. And then it also is connected to my Facebook community, so people can share there. So it's mostly a course where you work through things on your own with a little guidance from the videos that I have created and the PDF. And then, of course, within the Facebook community, people will share their insights and their artwork and things like that. So that's what I'm working on right now. Yeah, to be able to
Yes,
share with
that's
the
really
ladies.
nice. It's really nice. Now, ma'am, I mean, let me put that right. Which country, or the people from which country, the women from which country come forward to join in? They are more open-minded now. They want a transformation within themselves. They are looking out for a path. They are looking out for a leader in their lives, or you could say a spiritual guide in their lives to show them the path now. So, like, you come here as a spiritual guide. So, which country is more drawn towards such programs?
I think I think that also has to probably do with the people that I'm connected with, maybe has a little something to do with it, but I get quite a few people from North America. And then I also have quite a few people from Australia. And then I have some that are from Asia. The Asian is a bit less, but I've been reaching out to them on purpose, partly because of time zone. And so definitely some of the ladies have been stepping up in those areas. I have a couple girls from India. I have a couple girls from Vietnam, Philippines, and Thailand as well. I have one girl. So they're starting to show up more, so that is lovely to see. We certainly embrace everyone, but it also, culturally, I think it plays a part, and also time zones can be an issue. And I think that, especially these days, maybe economics, and a lot of people are working 2 jobs right now since COVID and inflation and, stuff. So, yeah, but that's majority is definitely North American and Australian. And
Yes.
then I've been purposely reaching out to the Asian ladies because I mean, I live here in Malaysia, but also I used to live in Thailand as well. And I just noticed that the gender roles uh, are much more pronounced in Asia, I think, culturally. And I'm not saying that there's right or wrong about that, but I do want the women to still feel within themselves that that they have a voice, that they are significant, that just the simple fact that they have life means that they are important and they are worthy, and not just to be in the kitchen doing the dishes and this kind of thing. We still have to get our dishes done, me too, right? But to really use our voice and our power and who we are for the greater good of all.
Yes, dear, you're very right in what you've shared. There are several people across the world, like where the gender roles are concerned, or maybe the cultural differences that we have, they are forced to be, not who they are,
Yeah,
and unable to express themselves. They have to just be in their natural. Even if they try to come out of it, they're being targeted by their family members or maybe the
yeah,
society, the neighbors. They're scared, many of them. So they don't
yes.
open up much. But I think at one point of time, maybe as you've mentioned, people with the women around 45 to 65 are the ones who really see the transition and want to think about themselves. Like, I think they all should
Yeah,
come out.
and
Yes.
sometimes they just need the space to do it because they can't do it with their families, or they can't do it in their day-to-day life, right? So when I'm able, or others are able, to create the space that is safe for them to explore themselves, then that is freeing. That is freeing, you know. Yes, we still have to get our normal chores done, or go to work, or things like that, but at least you have that community of women who really understand you.
That's very true, ma'am. That's really nice. And I'm really proud of you that you've really understood the real meaning of life, that everyone's life is precious, be it a woman, be it a man, be it a child, or any gender. And especially women, most of the women are like, put down in certain communities. They're not given their voice. And you focus on the women to build their voice, to use their voice for the right purpose. That's really
Yes,
nice. You would love to empower people in the right way. That's great.
exactly.
Yes, dear. I really appreciate that. That's really, many women wouldn't come forward to do it. If I'm comfortable in my four walls, I'm fine. So why do I need to uplift others? Why do I need to enable others to speak out, and become brave and courageous and live a complete life? You're doing that wonderful job. You're an angel. That's really.
Thank you. What I noticed is that even for myself, that exactly what you just said, I was like that. I was fine in my little bubble, my home life, but I was in survival mode. I wasn't truly shining. I always felt like there must be more. There must be a little bit more. And I felt alone, because I had really created the bubble myself, because I was good in my little bubble. And when I really started to pay attention to those feelings that were coming up, that is when I realized I am meant to do something about this. And to me, life is a gift. And so if we have life, we have been given a gift. And then in turn, actually, we are the gift. We've been given a gift, but we are the gift. So we need to stop playing small and give our gift. So this is me giving my gift. We each have a different gift, and that's why we're here and alive. And so, wouldn't the world be such a better place if we all were giving our gifts? I believe that you are giving your gift right now, doing this podcast. That takes courage. It takes commitment. It takes hard work. So I appreciate you for giving your gift to all the people. And we need more of that. More people who are courageous enough, who are worthy enough, who feel strong enough, powerful enough to also share who they are and what their story is, and and how they can be of service and contribute to all of us.
Yes, you put that very right. Thank you so much for being so kind and sharing all of that, dear. Thank you very much. Now, ma'am, what is the message to all the women who would love to come out, but they're unable to come out? How would you like to transform their mind by giving them a lovely message and inviting them to join you and, to find their voice and to be a part of your growth and to be a part of their growth and to be a part of that circle where they could empower themselves and empower others as well?
Courage is something that you build little by little by little. It just takes a small step. So what is the small step that woman could do today? And then build upon that and build upon that and build upon that. You can always reach out to me on Facebook. I'm always willing to listen, and to encourage, be a cheerleader for the people who want to take the small actions. It's the small actions that lead us to the bigger things. I'm sure it happened for you as well, that you just started with something. Start with something, and then the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and it becomes something beautiful, just like a flower. A flower starts as a seed, actually, and then it grows into something amazing. So I would encourage people, women especially, to take one small step. Take one small step. It can be the smallest step. If it can just be looking in the mirror alone, saying, "You are beautiful." That's a small step. It's a very powerful step.
That's really nice. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. You shared your thoughts in the right way. And, just looking in the mirror, you could just speak to yourself and say that you're a wonderful person. You look good. You have a beautiful mind. Love yourself. And then things around you begin to, bloom. Even if the
Yes.
world doesn't love you, your family doesn't love you, you are there for yourself. Begin to love yourself. That's really
And step 2, you can do that in your journal. There's another little step. Start doing it in your journal. Yeah. And things will start to change when you make these small steps, and you will start to grow.
That's really nice. Now, ma'am, you are staying now in Malaysia. How has been the response of the people in Malaysia with regard to, coming forward and joining the program and, wanting to open up or wanting a transformation in their lives compared to Canada, compared to Australia, and all? Like, what is the response?
My husband is very supportive. I don't really have too many women from Malaysia that so far that have joined me. I don't know if that is partly language barrier. I don't know if it is cultural. They don't seem to be in the same places that I am in. So I love it here. I do love the people here. I should say that I'm not in Kuala Lumpur. So I'm not in the big city. I'm in a smaller city that's on the coast, close by the beach. It's lovely. So, maybe that has also something to do with it. There's not so many expats here and things like that. So, but I don't have so many people from Malaysia or Indonesia, actually, so far.
Yes. We'd love many people to join you on this beautiful mission, to create a
Yeah.
beautiful version of themselves, to have a vision for their own selves for the future, just not to be content with where they are or to accept their fate. It's up to you to change your life. If you feel you're stuck up somewhere, you under some abuse, or you've lost something very dear to you, it's time for the transformation to come out of the cocoon and become that beautiful butterfly, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Metamorphosize, they say that, right?
That's right.
To
That's
open up
right.
and spread your wings and fly.
Such a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to witness. such a beautiful thing to witness when the rose blossoms or the butterfly comes out. So you know, and I've been privileged enough to witness that. And you can't stuff a butterfly back into the cocoon. No, once it's out, oh, it's
That's
just
beautiful
yeah.
way to share.
Yeah.
I like the way you put it. You just can't put back the butterfly in that cocoon again.
Oh.
Once the wings are open and the butterfly flies, that's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
No turning
So
back, right?
no turning
I
back.
think this is what you're trying to do, enabling them to come out of that, the
Yeah.
shell, come out of their shell,
You
come
know,
out. And
the truth is that I cannot do it, but I can encourage them all along the way. I can light the path. They must walk it. They have to get that courage. They need to take step by step by step, you know, but I can be their biggest cheerleader. You know, I can be the support. I can be the listening ear. I can give them the light that they need, because like I said, my cup is full. I have plenty of love and light to give to help them light up their own path. But they have to choose to walk it.
I do like this. My cup is full and overflowing. I'd like to share it with
Yes.
us.
Yes.
Like others also to fill up their cups. That's really nice.
Yes.
I really like the way you put it. You're very, very, genuine when you shared that I'm so happy within my own space. I'd love to see the women around me to also be in a happy space. That's great. Now, dear, you stay near the beach, as you mentioned. Now, walking around the beach also is very, very calming. It has a calming effect on us. So, if you could share that beautiful space where you live, like what do you do on the beach, or what do you get there when you walk about? Do you pick up shells? What is
It's kind of funny that you asking me this question, because actually part of my routine in the morning is I first do my journaling, my gratitude journal, and then my regular journaling. And then I try to be outside for sunrise, which means I get up pretty early. But I try to be out for sunrise, because for me, sunrise is the most inspiring, hopeful time of the day. And to be out in nature is also so rewarding, and so I feel so connected to the universe to be when I'm out in nature, and there's beauty surrounding me everywhere and abundance everywhere. So missing my walk is something that I hate to do. So I normally go out for 1 to 2 hours. I try to get 10,000 steps every day. Yeah, in the morning before breakfast, if possible. And I do often walk to the beach because it is walkable. And sometimes I walk on the sand and collect shells. But mostly what I do is collect photos. And that may sound a little funny, but I do. I collect photos because I'm not someone who loves exercise. So I've found a way for myself to make exercise actually into an adventure. So I suppose, played with my mind a little bit. And so I go out on my morning adventure. It's not going out for exercise. I go out for my morning adventure, and I either go in like on some paths that are in the jungle, or I go to the beach, because I have both close by my house. And then I take my phone with me, of course, as we all do. And I use my phone as my camera, and I take pictures, and it helps me to notice everything. It helps me to really stay in the now, in the present moment, and notice everything. And I mean, I can notice the smallest thing, like a ladybug on a leaf, or a lizard that's running and hiding, or this kind of thing, anything. So and also sometimes money. I find money on the ground, things, things like that. Right. So yes, I'm very paying attention, right? And so definitely there's all kinds of beautiful things around me here in Malaysia. Malaysia is absolutely beautiful. and Canada is also absolutely beautiful. And they're two very different kinds of beautiful. Yes.
Yes, dear, I get that. That's really nice. You've done justice to both the countries, to Malaysia and as well as Canada. They're
Yeah.
unique in their own way. That's great.
Yes.
And when the way you were sharing that you were walking on the beach or maybe walking into the jungle side and clicking out photos about the ladybug, a lizard, I could visualize all of that, that this is what you're doing, living in the present, enjoying the present moment. That's really
Yes.
nice. Now, dear,
Yeah.
towards the end of the session, I'd like you to give out a message for all of us. Like, how do they connect with you? If they want to be a part of your journey, if they would like to connect with you and get to know more about Planet Shift and all of
Yes, you can look for me on Facebook. My name is Leah Jacobs, Leah Jacobs. You can either connect through my direct personal page, or I have a business page, and that is Planet Shift, creative transformation. And then I also have a couple different groups. I have the Women's Worthy Circle, and I also have a group, Planet Shift group. So if you type in Planet Shift, you will probably find me with just that alone. But if it says Planet Shift by Leah Jacobs, that's definitely me. That's
yes.
definitely me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us and encouraging us to get to know ourselves better, especially the women, and how they could engage themselves in the right way, how to love themselves, how to journal, how to find their voice. And if they would love to have more information about how to do it in the right way, ma'am is always there. You can connect with her. We'll share her details in the description when we share this video. We'll share the links that you could get connected with ma'am. And we would love all the women to have their voice, to come out and to, spread their wings and come out of the dark into the light. That's really nice to have you here share all of this and make us think that our lives too matter, not only for our family members, but we should lift each other up or maybe lift up one another. One woman sets the crown of another woman as well, that it should be like that. And you're doing that. You're doing that great
Absolutely.
job. Yes.
Absolutely. I see the crown on you, and I'm sure that you see my crown too. And it should be like this. It's a beautifully put, beautifully worded. It's lovely, right? We are all queens or princesses, or and I want that for all of us.
Yes, dear. I know you wish the very best for each one of us, dear. That's really very nice. I really love that and wish that you have people around you who are going to join you quickly on this beautiful mission of getting to know themselves. You want people to get to know about themselves. You want people to understand as to why they exist on this earth, and they have to give back something to the society, to put forward themselves. They may have unique talents hidden within them. You want to tap it out. You want to guide them. You want to be that cheerleader. That's really nice.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, truly appreciate it.
We also appreciate your time. We thank you so much for being accommodating and taking out the time. And on special request, you're here to share your journey and to inspire other people to come out and to give their very best, not to be stuck up in their place and suffer in silence, or maybe, be depressed in silence. You come out. There are people like Leah Jacobs who's ready to help you to be the better version of yourselves.
Yes, it's true.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank you to also all of your viewers, and yes, keep doing what you're doing, because you're so lovely. I really, really do appreciate you.
Same to you, dear. Thank you very much. Stay blessed and stay connected. We'd love to have you on many more sessions on the International Fab Talks. Thank you so much and stay blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. If you like what the International Fab Talk team is doing, stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and share to the International Fab Talks. You will get to meet wonderful personalities across the world. Today, our guest was a wonderful human being, a great person connected to humanity. She would love to see the better version of all the people around her. If you'd like to connect with our celebrity and guest, you could do. We will share her details in the description with this video recording when we share it with everyone. And dear friends, share this video with the right kind of people. You never know who may be inspired, who would want to come out of that shell, who would want to spread her wings, who would want to have her voice heard, and who would love to share all these things with the world and live a complete life. Because it's only one life, we live only once, and let us live it to the fullest. With this, we'd like to sign off now from the International Fab Talks. Stay connected and stay blessed. Above all, don't forget to love yourself, love your family, and love the surroundings. And live in the present. That is the message. Live in the present. And don't forget to connect with our celebrity and guest. She's none other than Leah Jacobs. We will share the details very soon with you when we share this video. Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a wonderful time. Stay blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.